Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm tryna get paid. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm tryna get paid.
I've been broke for 27 years. I ain't going for 20.
Welcome to the Single MILF Show with your host, Meredith, and my amazing friend, Steph.
We are going to be talking about time management, how to execute it, goals.
We're talking about goals and goal setting, like how to properly set goals, and also
being a parent,
how we implement it with parenting.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy, and it's one of those things where I know I get a lot of questions, and I know you do too, and I get a lot of excuses as well. So
I think the biggest question we get is what time we go to bed, or what time do we work out?
Yeah, what time we work out, what time we go to bed. Or like, one of my favorite is, I just don't have time. And it's like, you do though.
Yeah. Because we both work full time. We both have kids.
And we get them. I get Kaden every weekend.
Yeah, we're both doing 75 hard.
We
go to the gym
every morning. More time. We have more free time now than we have. I know I do.
Yeah,
I have more free time ever since we started 75 hard, because I was able to we had to manage our time. We had to have a set schedule, and we couldn't go against it. And if we did, it was. I don't want to say like it messed everything up, but it was a lot more difficult to get everything done the way we were supposed to get it done, especially because the two workouts have to be 3 hours apart. They cannot be, they can't be. So you got to wait 3 hours, and it doesn't matter how long. We might have not have been able to get a workout in at 3 in the morning, like we usually do. And then at 6 at night is when we get our first walk in, and we would have to wait 3 hours until 9 o'clock. And then we would go on a walk again.
It was a lot of trial and error, but that was for me. And I know for you was the key to implementing and actually diving into our small, leading up to our small habits, was executing the time management. We can't, now we have a schedule where it's like basically our lifestyle. We wake up at 3, we'll take a coffee or whatnot, relax, but then we'll go to the gym, we tan, we come back, we eat, we're ready for work, we're reading, we're journaling, we go to work, we come home, eat again, and then we go on our walk. And it's just one of those things where if you find something that works for you, you continue to do it. But even on the weekends when we don't wake up at 3 in the morning, it's just like we are going with the flow, but we know we have to implement the time management, I guess.
Yeah, well, the thing is too is not even just the time management, but you cut out bad habits and replace them with good ones. And that is a huge key factor in creating healthier habits and creating a routine. Instead of us sleeping an extra couple hours or whatever, we would end up, we go to bed at 7:30. So we go to bed at 7:30, which allows us to get in 8 hours of sleep. So we get 8 hours of sleep, and then we wake up at 3. And then from 3, what I started doing is my phone is usually either out here or it's in the bathroom, and I have the alarm go off. So I have to physically get up and get out of bed to turn, but it helps me. And that's honestly what really got me going. I heard my alarm and I was like, shit, I got to go turn it off. So I would get up, and then I would go to the bathroom, and I would instantly brush my teeth. And that for me was helping me get ready and be like, okay, I'm starting my day no matter what at 3 o'clock. So every day I would get up, I would turn off my alarm, I would brush my teeth. I would get Steph up, and then we would.
Yeah, because I'm the opposite. I haven't managed that one.
No.
I have my alarm right next to me, and it will go off 4 or 5 times.
And sometimes I'll let it. I'm like, you know what? She can do her. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna do me. She's taking forever. But then and then another thing is I come out and I chug 16 ounces of water with a sprinkle of Himalaya salt. And then after I do that, I will have my protein shake, and that jump starts my day. And then we get ready, and sometimes we will take time to read and journal. It really kind of just depends on hey, how soon do you got to go to work versus me? Because I start a lot later than she does. So we do that, and then we either go tanning or we go straight to the gym. And then we go to the gym and we train for no less than 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah. And then we'll sit in the sauna for a little bit, sometimes if it's on and if we have time. And then we will come home. Whoever has to get ready first, whoever has to shower first, someone's showering and the other person is making breakfast. So we switch that on and off a lot, kind of based on just what we have going
Yeah.
on. We really don't even have to say anything. It kind of just
It's
flows.
just
Like I'm like, okay, cool.
It's a mental note.
Yeah, I'm like, she said she has to get ready for work at 6. She's in the shower. I'm gonna go make breakfast real quick. So I make breakfast. I like sometimes I'll pack our lunches or she'll pack my lunch. It just depends on what we have going on. Once that's all ready to go, then usually what I do is I sit down and she's left for work. Even if the boys are here and I got to bring them to school, I'll come out here and I will read and I will journal. And then I have at least a half a gallon of water in already. I already got my first workout in. I got my progress picture in and I fucking read my book. All I have left is to hit my food and to go on my last walk. And that's it. And the thing is too, is I'm also coaching basketball. So it's like, there's so much stuff that we have going on that when people tell me they don't have time, I literally fucking laugh because it's like, you don't what? Like you're fucking kidding me right now. And the coolest thing about all of this is I know for me, I have replaced so many bad habits with good ones. All it is like, so for example, like me getting up at 3:00 in the morning is not fucking easy for me. No. It's not easy for anybody. So like when people are like, oh, I just couldn't do it. Like, you don't want to, there's a difference. I want to get up because I know that if I get up at 3:00 and I fucking get my workout in first thing in the morning, I could have a horrible day. But guess what? I still fucking won because I was able to take care of me first thing in the morning. And it sets the mood for me when I go and work with the kids. It sets the mood for literally my whole day. And it's become like, we are excited to go to the gym.
I mean, it's literally the highlight of my day. Like, and it sets the mood for the entire day. Because it's one of those things where like when I will do like an active recovery day or something, or like if I don't go to the gym in the morning, for me, I feel off. Like I have to start my day like that now.
No. That or a walk. Like I need movement. I need to get up and I need to move. It's been such a healthy thing for me. I don't even want there's no one is in the gym as early as we go, and it's my favorite part.
They do, they're regulars. They're like they're working out. Like
we just like heading at each other. Like, hey, another day, another workout. You know what I mean? So it's really cool. It's just it's like with goal setting. Like I know for us, like our goal was to finish 75 hard. It was complete 75 hard and instill it and turn it into a lifestyle, not just do it and then be done. Just don't see the point in that. Like if you the task list is a solid foundation of everything you want to start creating in your reality and in your life. You have to have a solid foundation. And let's just say your goals are different and it's not 75 hard. Let's just say it's business, okay? Instead of watching an hour of Netflix, okay, dedicate an hour to working on your business. Okay, so instead of, eating higher carbs, start implementing more protein. Like don't necessarily change your calories. You might not have to, but start adding more protein into your diet and start taking away carbohydrates. Now, not all the carbohydrates, but just being mindful of the difference that what you're taking in, what you're consuming. You're literally like, look at all the bad habits you have, okay, write them down and write all the good habits you want to replace them with. That's all you got to do. Even if you're going out and drinking with your friends or your friends are going and drinking, you don't want to drink. Okay. Well, all you got to do is have either a coffee or a tea, or you can have a soda water with lemon and lime to make it look like an alcoholic beverage. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, like that's all you have to do. And you're psyching yourself out into thinking that you need those things when in reality, you don't need those things at all. Like you want them, right? But you don't need them. No one's forcing it down your throat. I know for me, that's like the biggest thing is what I need is I need healthy food. I need a movement. I need water. I need to be putting good things in my brain. I need to have a solid foundation so I can be a good mom and a good friend and a good sister and a good girlfriend, like whatever it is. Like I have to do those things in order to be happy and to create the reality and the existence that I want to have on this planet. And so many people are they identify so hard with their old self and have so many excuses that when it comes to goal setting, like it looks cute, right? Like I'm sure you decorated it and it looks all pretty and it's colorful, but at the end of the day, like, are you really going to do it? Like,
and well, that's a hard talk you have to have with yourself. I mean, because prior to like my fitness journey, like I was 99% of the time sitting in front of the TV. Like I was addicted to the drama TVs. Like I was watching movies and I was like, I don't have enough time. And that was the biggest excuse for me. And literally making small habits, like I would write in my journal, and that's how I got really good at time managing, is I would break my day up. And I was like, well, if I take out the TV and like you said, implement it with like reading a book, journaling, working on your business, working on something that's going to help create a lifestyle that you want,
Mhm.
it changed my whole mindset. And it's just those little changes over time lead to big things.
Yeah. It's changing your habits. It's
Yeah.
changing a bad habit and replacing it with a good, and just implementing it that way. And it doesn't have to be an extreme. Like you don't have to, like, let's say you just want to start losing weight. Okay, well, instead of watching Netflix, you don't have to go to the gym. Let's say you don't have money. I don't hear an excuse. Get up and go for a 45-minute walk.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how many calories you're going to burn?
Yeah.
You're actually going to burn more calories just walking than you would if you ran.
And that actually
So-
made a huge difference in my fitness journey, is implementing those 45-minute walks. Like, I lost so much weight just doing that.
You burn fat.
Yeah.
You burn a lot of fat just by walking. And it's not even that. Like, you're outside, you're getting vitamin D, you're also getting fresh air. You're like, I like it because it's a time for us to talk, and it's a time for us to vent, and it's a time for us to process. And even when I'm by myself, it's a time for me to kind of, like, I really focus on being present, but I also focus on like decompressing at the same time. Like, sometimes I like to just go for a walk by myself because it is a time for me to be alone and just and just be. There's so much stuff that you can implement and do when it comes to goal setting, and not have it like people just, it's like they purposely complicate it, or they purposely make it seem like it's so extreme and it's so hard when
they create a lot of excuses too.
Yeah.
There is a lot of excuses because we all have the same amount of time. And the biggest thing is, like, if it is important to you, you make time.
Yeah.
And I still look at it, and I'll say it over and over again, as an investment in yourself. Like you do, like getting to know yourself and your routine and making those small changes is what has created our lifestyle.
Because I've been kind of like, fitness has been my thing, like my whole life. Taking care of your body and taking care of yourself and implementing healthy habits, like, just when you do it physically, like, it's not even just a physical thing, it's also mental. And I think one of the most important things that anybody can do is invest in your health, because no one can take that away from you. The only person that can take that away from you is you.
Yeah.
And if you're going to start somewhere, I would start with your physical health. I would start with whether it's being more mindful of the nutrition you're ingesting and putting in your body. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like I said, we've said before, like, our food is so good. Like, we cook to enjoy our food.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really good.
And that's another thing too, is a lot of people think, your healthy eating or your healthy lifestyle has to be bland food.
Yeah.
Like, you can't put seasoning on your food. And what happens after that, a while, you get tired of the food and you go back to your old ways because you are tired of eating nasty, bland food.
Yeah. That, or people say they don't have time to cook. I'm like, first off, we cook once, maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
And it's literally so quick. Like, we have a rice cooker. If you don't have time to put rice in a rice cooker, then you really suck at time management. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Like, no kidding. Or even just throw like a fish in the oven, or just throw beef in the pan. All you got to do is put
it took us maybe 2 hours. Maybe
not even like an hour.
Yeah, an hour-ish to cook for the entire week.
Yeah.
And we pick a day where we do it on Sundays.
Yeah.
We actually enjoy being in the kitchen and cooking, and that makes a difference too. Loving how you cook and putting love into your food as well. Like, it tastes good every single day.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't like to go out to eat anymore. Like, I don't like,
it sucks.
Yeah. I ordered pizza for the boys, and I looked at it and I was like, it didn't even look good to me. Cause, like,
it's not even appetizing.
No, it's not.
I think of the inflammation, and I think of like the joint pain. I think of the brain fog. I think of feeling hungover. I think of the depression that comes with it. Like,
yeah,
I literally think of all, like, when I think of eating or even see food that I used to like, I'm just like, meh. And the
biggest thing for me was my job. This job that I'm doing right now is very manual labor. So I was, back then when I first started, my nutrition was not on point, and I felt slow. Like, being a woman working in a man workforce, like, I have to lift the amount they're lifting. I have to be able to do that.
You lift more than them.
I do lift more than them now, but 8 hours I have to, and I was like getting hurt left and right. So me staying on track with my nutrition, I'm looking at what is fueling my body right now, and beef and rice. Like, I eat that during lunch and I'm ready to go. Like, And the guys, like, they'll go out for beer or they'll have a pizza and they come back and they're like, man, when are we going to be off? Like, they can't keep up, which is insane to me. But that all has to do with dialing in your nutrition.
It just has to do with like actually having a fucking standard.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, if you have a standard, your nutrition's going to be on point. And that's even a mindset change too about like what you're putting in your body. Is it fueling you or is it slowing you down?
Well, people don't understand that they're half the food that we're consuming has so much bullshit in it that like you're literally physically getting addicted to it. Like you're addicted to it. You are addicted to all the chemicals that are in, like if it's processed, you're addicted to it. Like Chick-fil-A, they literally put seasoning on it that you're supposed to be like you become addicted to it. So at the end of the day, like if you're not, like if you're just not aware of what you're even putting in your body, like you're addicted to it. Like,
I mean, I had that conversation at work because a lot of them will go out to eat. And that was the biggest thing where they're like, well, we eat Chick-fil-A because it's the healthier fast food. And it's like, it's equivalent to all of the fast food and it is not healthier.
Like whatever you got to tell yourself, buddy.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Low testosterone.
I'm going to break this down on why you want to sleep after you eat this food.
It's just the excuses. Like it's you are totally missing out on so much like life if you're not even remotely trying to live a little bit better. Like I mean,
you feel younger too. I mean, we look younger as well.
Not even that. Like what? Like you're just a robot. You're just consuming. You're literally like still plugged into the matrix, and you're just consuming and consuming and consuming and consuming. Whether it's through the TV or it's food or it's sitting on your butt or it's sex or it's porn or it's like just scrolling. Like if you're just constantly consuming, like how do you consider that living? Like that's just how I look at it. Like you might as well just be a machine with your mouth open. But for real, though,
that's how we're programmed to be, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's the American way. Yeah,
it started from the education wise too. Like that's a programming. Yep, it is.
It's definitely in the school system.
I know. Like, I mean, now kids live on the computer. They do all their work on the computer. They don't know what a textbook is. They don't. I mean, it's just all been taken away.
I taught my class their first textbook,
which is wild to me. I remember having textbook after textbook.
I had no idea how to do it. They're like, Mr. Ruiz. I go, you got to be kidding me. They're like, no. I was like, okay, I'll walk you through it.
Yeah.
But I literally had to go and show them how to find answers. I was like,
but we are setting them up for success.
No child left behind.
Make America great again.
If I get fired. But in all seriousness, like if you are having a hard time goal setting, one, I am hosting classes Wednesday on goal setting. It'll be a lot more in depth, step by step, how I personally do it. I know Steph's going to show up. If she wants to, she can share how she does it. It's very similar, but it's also different. And I think it'll be really helpful for people that kind of just parents, especially women, like, because women, I'll tell you right now, like and this isn't to take away from men. So if this hurts your ego, I'm not sorry. But women at the end of the day, like we are working, we are also like parenting, we're doing a lot. And not even I know that Steph and I can really help when it comes to being a parent and when it comes to delegating and creating and also like just executing like your goals. It's not as complicated as you think it is. It's really just a matter of you doing it. And that's the hardest part. It's committing and executing and following through and meaning it really, and replacing and understanding that this is a bad habit and you need to break this bad habit, but this is that new habit that you're creating, and not look at it as a form of punishment too. I think that's another thing, is a lot of people think that they're missing out when they start implementing new things, when in reality you're freeing up a lot more time and you're not missing out on anything. You're actually creating time for you to really focus more on you or your family or your kids.
Well, that mindset change happened. It doesn't happen overnight. It literally took me a good 2 years. Like it really did. But I started out with small goal settings. Like I would start, and a lot of that for me was the journaling aspect of it. I would start my morning every morning, and I would, at the beginning of the new month, I would put a monthly goal and a weekly goal. And sometimes I would break it up until I actually got really good at my time management and my goals. And basically going like my bad habits until I actually was aware, which awareness is a huge part of it. I had to write. I wrote everything down step by step. And that for me was a really big changing.
Writing it down, you see it. Like
Yeah.
you see the things that you need to change, and then you can see where you can plug in the good habit and implement it and take away, or like at least like start to diminish or minimize your negative habit, because you're not going to just stop. Like it's
No.
not going to just be a stop. It's going to be kind of a gradual thing, especially if it's something that you've been
Yeah.
doing for a really long time and you've identified with it for so long. And that's the thing, is like you're creating a new identity, really. Like you're creating the reality that you want to create for yourself. Like you're creating the body that you want. You're creating the healthy habits that you want. How you see yourself and how you see your future, you have to start implementing those habits in order to create it. Like I know for us, like we have a whiteboard over here. I have the week broken down, and then I have all our goals. And that's the thing, is it's you take it day by day. Like, and if you don't get one thing done, then just roll it into the next day.
Yeah.
Or like a couple days later, like depending on where it's at on the priority list. But just make sure you're, like, for me, like marketing. Okay, I'm learning, I'm reading about marketing because I'm not familiar with it. I've been doing it, but I didn't know I was doing it. I just didn't understand. I understood what I learned through watching social media, but now I'm learning more about it. So now that I'm learning more about it, I am starting to implement tasks, daily tasks, where I need to start, putting new stuff out on social media. Like I need to, like I said, I'm having at least with the second week of every Wednesday, I'm going to start having a free course. This Wednesday, it's going to be goal setting. Next Wednesday, it might be macros. The other Wednesday, it might be something else. But
all the classes are going to be beneficial, though.
Oh, all of them
Yeah.
are. They'll all be, and they'll be more in depth on like even the YouTube. Like
Yeah.
we'll be talking about this, but we're really going to go into depth in the courses. And I'm also going to start implementing paid courses where, like for $40 for a course, I might break down proteins, carbohydrates, fats, and help you with your macros, and help you understand everything you need to do while executing when it just comes to your nutrition. Same thing with training, same thing with mobility. It doesn't matter. All these topics I'm going to be covering. I have daily tasks that I need to start implementing in order to start growing and evolving. And this is something that I'm learning. And to be honest, this has been it's been a really big insecurity of mine.
Yeah.
Ever since you've known me, ever since I've had social media, I've just, imposter syndrome comes in, and you feel like a fraud, and you don't ever feel like you're going to be good enough. But at the end of the day, like I don't stop learning. I don't stop learning. I don't stop growing. I have not stopped. And it is 100% my responsibility to start sharing my knowledge and helping other people who are on the same path.
Yeah.
And
I think that's what life is about, though.
Yeah. Well, it's helping others. It's lifting other people up. It's active service. It's not, I might be doing well, right? But if I'm not helping others do well as well, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not using my gift. I'm not using my craft. My craft is coaching. My craft is teaching. My craft is leading. And I know that it's been my craft. It even shows in the school. Like it shows in the school with those kids. It shows in the school with even some of the teachers. They might not like it, but it's true. And even coaching basketball, like I'm naturally a leader, and that's a really hard thing for me to even say, you know what I mean? Because it is though, because at the end of the day, like I was told like I was arrogant, or I was, I was self-absorbed for saying that. But in reality, like my intentions are so fucking pure. Like I have no reason to not be proud of saying that I am a leader, or not that I do want to coach and I want to help people. But that's a cool thing that has really helped me, is having these solid foundations and setting solid goals for me. When it comes to mental, physical, spiritual, I am now able to accept those things about myself, and be willing to share, because it's.
And one of the biggest things is that I even, like, when I first hired you as a coach, is you've always led by example.
Yeah.
Like she never will tell anybody to do something that she hasn't done or isn't doing.
Yeah.
And I think that says a lot about you as a coach as well.
Yeah.
As a person.
Yeah. But that was probably my biggest thing, is like, because I was surrounded by so many negative people for such a long time, that they got in my head, and I would go into depressions. And then because I wasn't doing the things I was coaching on, I felt like a fraud. And I was like, yo, I can't do this if I'm not doing it. Like, I can't live with myself if I'm telling someone to do something and I'm not doing it. I can't do it. It's not in my blood. Like, I can't,
but even that still shows a good leader as well, because
Yeah.
you are acknowledging where the work you have to do,
Yeah.
and you're willing to not stop, but you're willing to, I will kind of like stop coaching. Yeah. Stop coaching until you are actually putting in the work.
Yeah. Well, now, like, I'm at that point where, like, I know I'm a coach. Like, this is it. Like, I'm coaching. It's so funny because I know if you've been following me for so long, there's been so many highs, there's been so many lows, there's been a lot of lows. I'm really just trying to find who I am, and I've had to put in a lot of work. I've had to cry a lot. I've had to cut family off. I've had to really dig deep and go even generational into my DNA and start really remolding my DNA and creating a different structure for myself so I can be the person that I know I'm supposed to be right now.
But you're also human as well. And I think the best thing that I even love is that you're very authentic. Like, no matter if you're going through your lows or your highs, you are still sharing, which I think a lot of people don't do on social media. And you use your platform to actually share. And that helps a lot of people go through their lows as well.
Yeah. We're all human.
And I really do think that's what this life is about. Yeah. Like, it's not just for you to share all your highs and it's like, okay, well, what do I do on my low days? And you're actually sharing your low days and you're like, well, this is what I do, but it could be different or it could be the same. And 99% of the time,
it's all the same.
It is all the same because it's all a mental mindset shift.
Yeah. We're all going through the same thing, just different story. Like, that's it. Like, literally, we're all on the same journey. It's just a different story. Like, it just depends on what your identity is, like, or what you have identified with for so long. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I choose, like, and I try to make a very mindful effort I try to not identify with really anything, you know, other than the fact that, like, I'm just a soul in a human body having a human experience. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't want to identify with anything because I'm constantly changing and constantly evolving, where I have learned to stop identifying. Like, I don't want to be put in a box. I don't want to be in a box. Like, I'm not designed for a box. Like, you know, and
that's a cool thing. Like, I'm reading this book right now, and she talks a lot about that in our society and how we have identified with our genes. Mm-hmm. Where being an alcoholic, what was it, diabetes and
I'm
stuff.
Obese.
Like, and it is a quick mindset. It is all about your mindset. Yeah. You are choosing to be an alcoholic. You are choosing to be a diabetic or obese.
Well, this is the thing too, is it does become genetic.
Yeah.
Because you're choosing to put that in your DNA. You're choosing to put that in your lineage. You're choosing to put that into the next bloodline. But what we are not taught is that actually, even so, my dad's an alcoholic, right? And I was well on my way down that line. Okay. But I made a conscious effort and actually studying and reading and understanding that I have the choice to change my genetic makeup. And if I ever decide to have a kid, okay, I can change my genetic makeup so fucking much and heal myself so much from all the past trauma and generational trauma that it won't get passed on to the next kid. Okay. And that's how.
And it talks about that in the book for man and female.
It's both.
Yeah.
Well, we exist in our mother when our mother is in our grandmother. So it goes back 2 generations. We exist within our grandmother before our mother is even here. And same thing with the sperm, like same thing with the men. It's the same exact, it's even in the Bible. It's in the fucking Bible. I forget what the word is. What book? It was how it doesn't start with you. I'll have to find it, but it doesn't start with you. That's where I learned it from. And when I read that, I was like, holy crap. Like, all the trauma that was done to my grandmother before I was even born was actually passed on to me. So that's something that we need to start learning and be mindful of, is because we actually have the choice. We have the choice, the God-given right, like the free will to make decisions and change where we're going in this lifetime for the next generation. Yeah. Like, you know, people are like, oh, I'm doing it for my family, I'm doing it for my kids, but are you really? Because you're not even going out of your way to learn new things. And I know for me, my whole mission is to be exactly who I am supposed to be. Like,
well, I mean, it starts with you.
Yes.
Whether or not you are trying to do it for your kids or your family, you have to lead. You have to be putting in the work in order for your kids. Your kids will naturally follow along. They do.
depending on who the other parent is, I think there's a lot of factors that go into it, because my thing is like I will never influence Caden's thoughts. Like, I will, but I won't. I will through my actions, but I'm not going to verbally make him feel a type of way about someone or something. Like, I want him to be his own person. I want him to experience, sitting back and watching him screw up is probably the hardest thing I think a parent could ever do. I mean, and
it also is the best thing you can do for your child.
Yes, it's difficult, and it's usually painful for the parent that is aware of it and doesn't do it. But, at the end of the day, like, you just got to watch. And I know for me, that is something that is very difficult. And all you can do is hope and pray that when they get older, they watch and they're like, you know what, Mom, you did really good job. They're like, I tried really hard. You almost gave me a heart attack a couple times. But, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But it's because we're all connected. We're all one. What affects you affects me. What affects me affects everyone else out there. The decisions that you make has a ripple effect. It doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative. You're going to make a negative impact. Guess what? It's going to ripple effect around the people around you, and it's just going to keep going. Same thing with positive. So the choices that you're choosing to make have an impact on your community, and it has an impact on the kids around you, like everything. So, like, even for me, going to that school and working with these kids, like, it really pushed me to crush 75 hard. Those kids every single day would ask, like, what day are you on, Miss Ruiz? What day are you on, Miss Ruiz? And it just was like, it was just really, it's cool because they still ask. They're like, so you're still on it? I was like, yeah, like, I'm, but at the end of the day, like, I know they admire that. And I think that I know they look up to me because of that. And I want them to know that they are capable of the same thing.
And I also think, like we talked about it in a couple episodes ago, was like, it happened for a reason, because she started 75 hard, and within that week you started
3 days later.
Yeah, you started at the school. Yeah. So there really wasn't a coincidence behind that.
No. I mean, I have parents reaching out to me asking me to talk to their kids because they're having a hard time. To me, that's an honor. Like, I'm not taking that for granted. And I've even told them, like, I'm not taking this for granted. What you're telling me, the fact that your daughter or granddaughter looks up to me that much, like, I'm going to take that, and I'm gonna do what I can with it, and still lead, and more people need to start doing that. Like, it's just, especially in the school system, to be honest, this might hurt feelings, but at the end of the day, like, we're there for the kids. We're not there for ourselves. We're not there for our egos. We are there for the kids. We're not there for them to just pump out tests and just not literally learn anything. We are there to teach children how to grow up in this chaotic world. And
well, they are like sponges. They grasp everything, like, to how you show up, how you dress, how you hold yourself accountable, and your standards. Like, you get so many compliments on
the way I dress,
the way you dress.
Oh, the kids love the way
because
I dress.
A lot of teachers don't dress like that anymore. No. They don't hold themselves to a standard, even by the outfits they put on.
They don't take a lot of pride.
No.
And at the end of the day, like, it's sad. It's really sad, because
but the kids pick up on it.
Well, it's why we are where we are, and it's not even like, and I know people are going to take this totally the wrong way, because they're going to be like, oh, well, she just thinks because she works out. No, I work out because at the end of the day, my body is a business card. My body is a representation of how I think, how I talk, how I act, how I carry myself, the standards that I have, and I'm not even going to lie. Who in that school, if something happened, is going to protect those kids?
Yeah,
I will. I'm probably the only one, to be honest, and that's not me being an asshole. That's a fucking truth, because I see it every single day, and it's heartbreaking. It's honestly, I mean, I come home and I cry because I feel so fucking helpless, because these kids don't have any role models at home. They don't have any role models in the school. And I know for me, some of my favorite teachers were my biggest role models, like, and they carried themselves well.
They did.
My coaches, like, they were in shape, they worked out, they took care of themselves, they spoke well, they dressed well, they had high standards. And it's for, like, to me, it's the American way. Like, what happened? Like, it's I don't know. It's just, it's so different. And I mean, it sucks watching it. I would genuinely love to see everyone just start taking more control over their life.
Yeah.
And for no other reason than like, why don't you want to live a long, healthy life? Why do you want to be in pain all the time? Why do you want to be negative all the time? Why?
Well, they wake up and they bitch. Like I follow some of the teachers, and that's the first thing they do, and it's that has a huge effect of your day to day, how you're waking up, what you're telling yourself as well.
But it's just, you have wasted days, years being so negative, and just and not taking the advantage of having such an awesome experience here on this earth. Like, life here is awesome.
It is though.
You want to, like, it's just wild to me that you're just gonna wake up, and you already hate waking up. You hate waking up, and if you are doing that, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, I get a lot of messages on social media because we post like how much we laugh, or
Yeah.
we'll post all day, like we'll post something about us laughing. And the coolest thing is a lot of people are gravitating towards us because they're like, all you guys do is laugh. And I was like, why don't you? Like, why don't you laugh? Like, we wake up genuinely happy, like excited, laughing.
Not even just that. Even if there's something shitty going on at this point, like we did a tarot reading last night, and the first card was like, basically, your life is a shit show.
Basically, dimming it down. Yeah.
Her and I started, both of us, like without even, we already knew why we were laughing. And she's like, you know why I'm laughing? I'm like, because our life's a shit show. It's just like,
after February, we were like, it was perfect though, because I mean, like, we are, and that says a lot about how well we carry ourselves too, because we do. Like, it's one of those things where you can look at it from a negative point of view, and you can like bitch and complain about it, but at the end of the day, it's happening. It's like,
you can't control it.
You can't, and that's been the hardest thing for me is actually to give up that control.
Well, so many people, and this is what a lot of people I feel like struggle with, is control. They want to control everything. They want to control everyone. They want to control every movement. They want to control. Yo, let go.
Yeah.
Fucking just let go. Like Frozen, let it go. But seriously, let it go. Because this is coming from someone who had to have control over everything. It's why I was so extreme with my nutrition and training and bodybuilding, because I was in control. I controlled that part of my life. And because I was so obsessed and so in control of it, I got hurt. I pushed my body to an extreme. I messed up my metabolism. I messed up my hormones. I messed up everything. You know what I mean? Like, physically I did. And then until I stopped, I was just like, I'm going to control what I can control. That is paying attention to how my body feels and moving the way my body wants to move. Not how I want to move, not how my ego wants to move, but how my body wants to move. Okay, if I have an injury, let's work around the injury, but also take care of it at the same time. Same thing with my food. Okay, I had a really hard time with food. I would binge eat, or I would do the extreme and abuse laxatives, and I would just not eat, and that's how I was. You know what I mean? And I would eat super bland food, and I was miserable. Now I'm in control of enjoying my food. I'm in control of the food that I'm eating, and I'm not a robot anymore. And like, same thing with like just going for a walk. Like, instead of me being like, I gotta go for a walk, I'm like, you know what? Like, it's sunny out. I'm excited. I can go, I hear the birds. I pay attention to the trees. I'm like, oh, the flowers are blooming. Like, it's just a way for me to connect with nature, even if you're in a city.
Yeah. Even if it's raining, we still enjoy.
We have a blast.
Like, we still do it.
Yep.
And that's completely different from like all the other times of me in the past. I'd be like, oh, it's raining, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
And I'd make tons of excuses. Well, the weather sucks.
I just want to get wet.
Yeah. And it's like,
it doesn't matter.
Now, like, rain or shine, we know we're going.
Yeah.
Like, and we are still excited. We are still like,
because you can't control it.
Yeah.
You can't control. The only thing you control is you. The only thing you control is your movement. And that's the thing. Your movement and your momentum is what gets things flowing. It's not like, if you want to move forward, you have to move. You can't just sit there and be like, I'm going to set goals and then I'm going to wait for them to just magically sprout. Yeah. Like, no, you have to move. You have to execute. You have to move. There's no stopping. Like, you cannot stop. That's why we both have not stopped 75 hard, because at the end of the day, if we stop, like, we might as well just quit, because it's like there's nothing that is, I don't even want to say, it's hard for me to say that these tasks are hard because I actually love them. Like, I genuinely enjoy the hard. I enjoy the process. I love the process. I have fallen in love with the process. And that's what these people are talking about when they say, love the process, love the process.
And I didn't get that until recently.
Yes.
Like, I would hear it and I'd be like, fall in love with the process. And I would tell myself that, but I never, ever implement it because I didn't get what it really meant until recently. Like, until this 75 hard.
Yeah. And what it means is you love the bad days. Like, you love
They were my
challenge.
highlight days. They were what I looked forward to.
And that's what it becomes. When you start to, like, actually look forward to the raining, pouring, thunderstorming days and super windy, and like you're sick and we're just like, we hate life. And then we get done, we're like, fuck yeah. Like, we just did what 99.9% of the population would not do. Like, and I'm like,
it was even cool because it was last week. Like, pretty sure I had the stomach bug. She kind of
pretty sure
I know I had the stomach bug. She's an asshole. She had like a smaller version of it, but she still had it.
I definitely had a smaller version of it.
But we both went, like, regardless. Like,
and we got our period.
We got our period.
It was miserable.
And we still went for a while. There was no excuses. And that was like, that's even like really cool to even witness too, because we were like, we could have been like, no. Like, I nonstop was throwing up in the bathroom. I threw up before we went on a walk. I was like, I should be good for 45 minutes. Let's go.
And then she's like, I might shit my pants. I almost did too. It's okay. Oh my God. But in all seriousness, like, but those are the moments, and those, like, it's so funny because we were even talking about this before. It's funny how your doctors are like, if you get injured, they're like, don't move. Don't do anything. Don't move. Don't do anything. But I'm like, but that is how you stay sick. You stay sick by not moving. I think the reason it wasn't as bad as it could have been is because we still were eating healthy food, even though she was still throwing it up. So, and then we were still drinking our water, even though we were both shitting and pissing it out. Like, you know what I mean?
I'm just gonna keep putting that out.
But I'm saying, but like, these are so many people who have so many fucking excuses. And then even going for 2 walks outside, like, that's the thing, is going outside and getting fresh air and moving your body is moving the virus out of your body. If you just lay there all day, guess what? The virus is going to sit there until it finally passes. And
but I also think that's why the doctors say what they do say.
So you keep coming back.
So you keep coming back. If you know you can actually heal yourself, you will not need to go to the doctors anymore.
Because you can heal yourself.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, 100%. Through breath work, through food, through movement, through meditation, like all of it.
Yeah, movement is meditation.
Well, it's meditation. It's everything. Movement is it's flow. If you want to flow through life, you have to move. Like, there's no getting around it. Like, so many people have excuses for just being stagnant, and it's unfortunate. It really is, because there's so much you're missing out on. So much. You know how many beautiful sunsets we've seen because we're outside walking? You know how many awesome eagles or like cool birds, or like just like, you know what I mean? We've seen so much cool stuff because we get out and we go and we move. And even at the gym, how many people we've met. Like, it's one of those things where movement just creates opportunity. And if there's opportunity for you to be better. And if there's opportunity for you to be better, you're going to tap into your higher self, and you can just keep going and you keep going and you keep going.
But even that's like you said, that is a ripple effect on a lot of people.
Yep. Well, even if you're executing these daily new habits, right? And you're implementing these new goals, and you do it little by little, okay? Little goal by little goal. Guess what? Time and consistency creates a massive end game. Like, it does. Like, your end game, because you have built so much on that foundation, you've created so much momentum. When you hit your goal, like, it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I did that. But it's little actions. It's small actions every single day. It's not going to be perfect. Every day is not going to go the way you think it is. Stuff is going to happen. People are going to challenge you. But you cannot stop moving. You cannot stop moving. It does not matter what you do. And I that's why we have been able to move and execute and evolve and move people out of the way, and
because we don't stop.
We don't
do
stop.
not stop
They can't
moving.
keep up. They can't
No.
keep up. And if you want to keep up, guess what? You better start moving. Because I mean, that's just it. The train is going.
Yeah.
Like choo choo, motherfucker. Like choo choo. Like I'm for real.
You
like
said train and choo choo pop.
I know. I had to say it. But it's just really cool. I think it's we have created so many opportunities for ourselves in the just by taking action.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
doing the work.
yeah, it's not going to stop. Like even with this YouTube, like we still don't really know what we're doing. We're kind of just coming on here and we're talking about like topics that we want to help you with and share our perspective and share our journey and our story and show you that, you know, being a victim is not the answer, but being a victor is. Like choosing to move forward and not staying in the same spot and feeling sorry for yourself over and over and over again. And
well, victim mentality gets you nowhere.
Well, it's just an identity.
Yeah.
Like you're identifying, I'm a victim of abuse. Okay. Well, why are you in an abusive relationship again? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you, okay, you're cycling back into another relationship that's abuse. So if you're going to continue to identify and be a victim of abuse, you're going to keep attracting abuse. Like, and it's just how it is. Like, it doesn't matter. I used to do it. So like, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, and when I started realizing that and I stopped being a victim and I stopped accepting that type of energy, and I was like, oh, hell no. Like,
yeah.
Like,
pump the brakes.
But
reverse.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now I attract totally different. Like, I mean, totally different. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. I don't identify with this anymore and I get this, I win. Like, and it's just cool. Like it's really,
that's
really
part
cool.
of like you letting go too. Letting go of your past and letting go of all those
fear
that are attached to it. Fear, everything.
All fear. It's all fear based because I used to be scared. I used to think that's what I deserved because I was scared if I did have something that I was worthy of, I wouldn't be able to keep it. Now I'm like, no, I fucking deserve it. And I'm going to keep it as long as it wants to stick around. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to force anything, but at the end of the day, like, my heart's going to be open and I'm going to accept all the good and bad that comes with it. When you do that, it changes, like everything changes. And you have to change your mindset. You have to, and it's not like, I don't want to say, because it's so, I don't want to say like voodoo. It's like glorified on social media, like say your affirmations and blah, 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 blah. Like I get it, like that stuff helps, but you have to believe it. And not even believe it, you have to practice it. You have
and that's a huge thing. Like it's one thing to journal about it and say it, but she used to tell me all the time, but you have to believe it. And I'm like, I'm saying it. Like I do. Yeah. But I didn't though. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things where I had to practice what I was talking about, practice what you preach. Yeah. And once you start believing it, it does come. Yeah. Like
you have to take your words and turn it into action. Yeah. You could say shit all day, but if you are not acting and moving forward in that way, you're not gonna get it. And I know for me, my throat chakra has been closed for a really long time. And me speaking my truth and me, being scared of hurting someone's feelings or, being scared that I was going to get yelled at or being scared that I was going to be told that I was wrong or whatever, I stopped doing that. And now I will literally walk into a room and I will confront whoever it is. Yeah. And I will be like, I don't approve. I don't think this is okay. If you do this again, X, Y, or Z is going to happen. And if that person and however that person responds is not my responsibility.
That's on them.
It is all them. If they get mad, if they project onto me, if they lie, I can tell, like, I don't care. Like, that is you. Yeah. But I'm going to tell you my truth and I'm going to set my boundary for myself because at the end of the day, I want my reality to look a certain way and you ain't getting in the fucking way.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, it's a definitely even for me, it's a past programming because I was told like, that's mean. You shouldn't say that. And like, even in the beginning of the stages of raising my boys are very brutally honest. Like even Caden, he's very brutally honest.
And my dudes.
And I would be like, hey, don't say that. That's mean. But now I'm like, it's fucking true. We were walking in the trail.
I love her oldest, Lucas. He's my spirit
there's
animal.
there's nothing. Like whatever he
I
says,
love that dude.
Whatever
Yeah.
he thinks, he says. If you ask him a question and you do not want his honesty, do not ask him
Don't
that
ask
question.
him.
Like 100%. But we were walking and this woman was making fun of her
Oh my god, it made me mad.
her toddler. She had to be like maybe
She
2,
wasn't
not
even
even. She
2.
just started
She
walking,
started
but she was basically saying she had fat legs and stuff like that.
She said you can move your chunky legs or something like that.
It was
Some
like
fat
off the
legs, yeah.
wall. And
I was like,
Lucas, because I was thinking it, and I'm
I
pretty
did
sure
too.
you
I
were
was too.
thinking
I was like,
it.
she was projected
Lucas
on that
says
little kid.
really loud, and they're right behind us. Why would you call your baby fat
Your
legs
baby
or
likes
something?
fat legs, yeah.
And we died because like a lot of people would have looked at us and been like, "You should tell your son not to say that."
Yeah.
But it is true. Like
she should not say that to her
you
daughter.
should not be saying that to your daughter because
No.
at the end of the day, that's her. She's projecting on her child.
She's putting her insecurities on her baby,
Yeah.
and she's just learning to walk. Like,
but that's the cool thing about both of us, how we
mad.
parent is. We allow them to say, like we do.
I really wish I would say something to Lucas because I'm gonna shut your ass down real quick.
Like I mean, like honestly, we were both taught as a kid, like if you said something, like you were scared you're gonna get in trouble or it's mean, you shouldn't say that. Like
you're just a kid, you don't know any better.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you are basically closing your throat chakra, and as an adult, you still do that. There's sometimes I'm like, I really want to say that, and then like I'm second guessing. I'm like, why? Just fucking say it. Now that I'm aware of it, I'm like, all right, my throat's burning because I need to say it now. Like
it's been cool because we both, I mean, and I'll tell you right now, if you don't want the truth, do not hang out with me and Steph. That's all I'm saying.
No, we are.
And believe me, I pick and choose my battles very carefully. But like, if you keep poking the bear, that bear don't play no more. It's like the cocaine bear.
That movie is so stupid.
It was the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my life. I've wasted an hour and some change of it.
But everything we say though, like on honesty, we do come from a loving place.
But the truth is love.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. And I will never. And if someone takes offense to how I feel or my truth, and it's coming from truth, like I'm not projecting, I'm not being mean, I'm not being malicious, and I'm just telling you what I see. And you get mad, it is not my problem. It is not. It's not my problem. Because at the end of the day, like, I am loving you by telling you the truth.
But even doing that work, we were talking about this, I think it was yesterday, about our egos. Like when someone says, and we're like, you have to tell it. Like tell it to sit down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, like, let's say you made plans with someone and you want that person to like come over, but they're working all day and then they're busting their ass and they're really tired. And I'm like, and I get upset because they're like, hey, I'm just not coming over today because, I'm tired. My body hurts, like whatever. And you catch yourself and you're like, hold on. Like, I need to remember that person has feelings. That person has a lot going on too. And just because I want that person to come hang out with me does not mean that person doesn't want me or not like me. Like, and that's the thing is like, you have to learn, that's a mirror. Like that's that person showing you what you need to work on. I think that's where we kind of went into the ego conversation, because my ego was stepping in and was like, oh, he just doesn't like you anymore. Like whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm like, but that's a
part of awareness that I'm talking about. We are very aware. Like if somebody says something and I'm like, nope, that's not you. That's your ego. Like, why am I feeling this way? And that's something you kind of have to pick and choose and pick through.
It's an old
work
wound.
Through. Yeah.
And it might not even be your wound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be generational or past or whatever. But just creating that awareness around it, because then again, you're letting go and you're just like, you're not in control. You can't control that. And I think that you're wrong if you go and try to make that person feel bad for it, because they are their own person and they have every single right to make their own decisions, whether it's bad or good or whatever's labeled bad or good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, you can't control other people. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if they're out cheating on you. At the end of the day, fucking let it go, dude, because
that's the biggest thing. I mean, in general, like, you cannot control anybody.
No.
But yourself.
And if anything, and if that ever was to happen again, like, I would be like, okay, well, thank you for the lesson. I appreciate your time and energy, but it's so long, and move on. But that is the whole thing about letting go and moving forward. And that's any relationship. It doesn't matter whether it's your parents. It doesn't matter husband, wife, kids, you have to learn to detach in a healthy way and understand that the only thing that you can focus on is yourself. There's nothing else that really, it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
And you get comfortable with that when you work on building that solid foundation.
Yeah.
Like, I truly believe we have built that solid foundation to where we are very, very comfortable with ourselves.
I'm petrified of, like, if there's anything I am scared of, it is going backwards to the old self. It is even thinking about, I would rather not sleep for a week straight and still get my tasks done.
Yeah.
I'm so serious. If it killed me, I will get my tasks done every single day. I'm at that point where I'm not like, I don't give a fuck if it's, I didn't go to sleep for 3 days and I still got to get my one walk in. Yeah. I'm going on that walk. Even if I pass out, you know what I mean? Like, at least I went out trying my best. Like, I gave 110%. Like, there's no way. There's no way. And it's addicting. Like, that's an addicting feeling. And just, we didn't come here to be humans. We didn't come here just to be blobs walking around with 2 legs. We came here to be fucking gods. Like, we did. We really did. We came here to be the best we could be.
The best versions, yeah.
And it's going to take a tribe. It's going to take a community.
And that's the thing. And that's the biggest thing. It does take a tribe. Like, it is glorified to be independent and you can do everything by yourself and all of these things, but it does take a tribe.
Especially for women. Like, this is the thing. Women are constantly attacked for IEDEPENT.
They are, though.
It is. And it's not cool to be, it's cool to be self-sustaining and like a very responsible person. Okay. But it's not cool to be so aggressively independent because I need her. Like,
vice versa.
Yeah, no, but I do. Like, I 100% know that I need Steph. Like, I need someone at her caliber or higher. I can't do the stuff that I want to do alone. I don't want to. I don't. And to be honest, it's a huge reason that I have held myself back so much is because I know what I'm capable of, but I want to share it.
Yeah.
I'm not here to do this by myself. Like, I want a group of people that are on the same page, that want to be their fucking best. And I want them to, like, crush life. And I want to do it together because one thing that I've always wanted is a family. And I've never had it. And on paper, yeah, I've had a family, but to feel like I have a family, I've never felt it until I've had Steph. And that has set the tone and standard for the rest of my life, including men. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, not gonna lie, if you cannot match Steph's energy,
hard one.
It is, though. I'm so serious, but it should be that way. And it should.
But
be
it really should, though.
Yes.
It should be that way because it's one of those things where we push each other daily. Like, even in the gym, like,
you don't even gotta say anything.
We do. Like, there's one time she was like, "Is that what, you're not gonna do that? You're not gonna finish?" And I'm like, I look at her and I'm like, "Yo, you know." But like, and then vice versa. Yeah. She'll lift. It was like, I forgot. Like, it was a month ago. We were doing legs, and I was like, "That's all? You're not going to finish?" But
I was like,
we do, though. Like, and it's all healthy ways. We're like,
we're healthy.
I really want to see her be her best, and she wants to see me be my best.
Yeah.
And together, we're like,
and it's for no other reason than, like, it's healthy shit talking. I mean, that's what I think it is. I mean, it is, though, because I mean, that's
I love to shit talk. So.
But if you grow up playing like high level sports, like, I was grateful enough to play on a high level team.
That's all we did.
Yeah, dude, and then I used to eat, breathe, and sleep basketball. That's all I did. So, like, at the end of the day, when you do that, like, I know that if I'm not doing my best, like, they're not doing their best either. Yeah. So I need to check myself, but I also need to check them because I'm like, hey, dude, you're kind of slacking. And that's a team effort. Like, that's anything. I mean, I don't even care if you're in a relationship. Like, if your husband is slacking, be like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, you haven't gone to the gym in 2 days, and no. Like, do you want to get divorced? Because it's about to happen. I'm so fucking serious, though. Like, at the end of the day, that is my standard. Like,
well, because you guys, at the end of the day, you're a unit. Like,
you're a team.
Yeah,
you are a team. It's not one is better than the other. I am balancing out your masculine, you're balancing out my feminine, and we are fucking moving. Like, we're moving and we're executing, and I have my goals, you have your goals, and at the end of the day,
That goes with everything, though.
Everybody.
Not just relationship. That's like your tribe, your family,
Yep.
regardless of anything. And the coolest thing, even with us like living together, is there are going to be some days where you can't really give your full, but like we'll match
Yeah.
it. Like if I'm having a week or a
I'll pick
couple
up
of
the slack.
days, she picks up the slack and vice versa. If I know like one, she's about to be on her period, or
Yeah.
like she's having a hard time at work, like I will do it. And there
Yeah.
won't be like, hey, can you do this? No, like we just do it.
Like without question.
Yeah.
Like I'm like
Like I know what I
Yeah.
need to do. She knows what she needs to do, and that's it. Like
especially like dragging butt in the morning. Like, I mean, like I said when we do the lunch, like you know, sometimes I'm like, I really don't want to go to work today. You know what I mean? And she knows it, so she'll go and she'll go out of her way.
you're going to work.
Yeah, she has everything ready to go, or it'll be in the fridge, and I'm like, all right, guess I gotta go. You know, but it's just it's really cool, you know, being able to experience what Steph and I have. And I think, you know, let's say you are in a relationship and that is something that you want, you know, don't just quit on your relationship. It doesn't, I'm talking, you know, parents, family, friends, whatever. If there's a very important relationship in your life that is you can kind of see it projecting you either forward or backwards, you know, I think there's a time and place where you need to sit down and have a conversation and be like, listen, I like love you, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to accomplish this, and I would like, you know, you to be on the same page. And it's not even necessary. And I mean, even set the standard, be like, you know, I want to, like, let's say it is an intimate relationship. Like, I want to live a long life. I want you to live a long life with me so we can die together happily, and our kids can we can see our grandkids, like whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, like that is a very reasonable, like,
well, it's a non-negotiable too. Like that's, well, for me, like that's the first question. Well, like I get through, like when I'm meeting someone new, like I go over, I'm like, all right, so what are your non-negotiables, and here are mine, and that is always it. Like,
well, I don't know. I've learned to kind of, I just know who I am. I just think when you know who you are and you know what you want, because if you have like a list, I mean, it's never going to go as planned.
Yeah.
And you're always disappointed. And then the thing is too, is like, if you're not flexible in that area, you could be missing out on something else. You know, that's just like what I've learned. Like I've just learned, I'm like, my heart's open, whatever happens, happens. Because at the end of the day, but I mean, it's true though. Like I know what I want. I know what I don't want. And I do it based on even how my body responds.
Yeah.
Like if I'm around a type of person and it's in fight or flight mode, and it's not good for my nervous system, I'm like,
and your body will tell you.
Oh, it will tell you.
It will tell you.
Yeah. And then, but if I'm around someone and my nervous system is calm and I'm chill, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can be myself. I can be authentically who I am. I can speak my truth. I can sit here with my heart open and not worry about what happens, you know? And I think that's
a good energy exchange.
Yeah. Well, I think it's even for friendships, it's for family, but you know, creating those really healthy, I think boundaries are such a fucking outplayed word now, but just having those expectations for yourself and clear expectations and letting that other person know that you're coming from a loving place. Because at the end of the day, like, you're really not responsible for them. And if they don't like that and they make you feel like you're responsible for them, they are not your person. Like, not even
And that was the cool thing you picked up on, or you read on the book. Was it 8 Ways of Love or something?
I don't know, 8 Rules of Love.
Yeah.
But
it talks about that in the book, is you are your own person, and whoever you are in a relationship with, they are their own person.
Yep. They have their own friends, they have their own hobbies, they have their own whatever. But I ain't gonna be with a turd. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's just not happening. It's not. Yeah. But it's not. Like, I'm not gonna be with a bum. I'm not gonna be with someone who doesn't love their job. I'm not gonna be with someone
who doesn't hold themselves to a higher standard.
Yes, and that's not happening. It is over my dead body. I'd rather die alone. Like 100%. I would absolutely rather die alone than ever be with someone who has a fucking excuse. I can't. I just can't anymore. Like, I don't even want to be around. I don't want to be around it. Unfortunately, it's everywhere.
It is everywhere.
You can't get away from it.
No.
But it's just, there's nothing wrong with having those standards either. Like, there really isn't. You should not feel bad for wanting more and better. Like, you shouldn't, because this is your life. Like, this is my life, and I will do what I want with my body. I will do what I want with my mind, my spirit, and I'm going to live
regardless if anyone likes it or not.
Because if they don't like it, then you're not meant to be on my path. I learned a lesson from you, and I'm moving the fuck on.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Thank you.
And the biggest thing out of this is, if we can do it, you guys can do it. Anyone can do it.
Everyone. Yeah. Everyone can do it. There's no one. all these people that you look on social media that are like influencers or, you know, they're billionaires or millionaires. Like at the end of the day, the only thing that they are doing different than you is time and consistency. It's the only, they are executing on their foundation every single day. They're not doing what society is telling them to do. They're doing the opposite. That is what breeds success. It's not what you're programmed. It's not the religion you were taught. It's not your family morals and values. Not all of them. It's not the school system. It's not any of it. All those things are in place to learn from because you can definitely learn and get some value from it. But at the end of the day, like, you don't deserve to go to work every day and hate your life. Like, you don't deserve, you just don't deserve it. Like, you deserve to come here and live the life that you feel in your entire being is supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, ever since I've moved in here with Steph and we started just like slowly executing at like the YouTube or slowly executing or me being more consistent on social media because she helps me with my videos and she's getting better at her photography and videoing because that's what she wants to do. And we tag team each other. I know for me, it's become, I don't want to say easy because it's still difficult, but it flows more and it feels more me. I'm becoming more authentic because I'm allowing myself to create the reality that I want, you know, and it makes me happy. And it's really cool because I just feel like the repercussions of the consistent action and the consistent timing or putting time into everything is paying off.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where we did have clear communication. Like we were like, all right, listen, we don't want to do this alone. This is what I want to do, which for me was video and photography. This is what she wants to do.
I want to be
and we're like, it would be beneficial for us to tag team. Like, why would we do this alone? I don't want to do this alone. You don't want to do this alone.
Well, it's practice.
Yeah. At the end of the day, and it is flowing extremely well.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is like it has allowed me to open up to her about my insecurities. Like I told her in the very beginning, I was like, listen, this is actually a really big insecurity of mine because I've had exes in the past make me feel like I'm self-absorbed and I'm a piece of crap for wanting to be someone in the fitness world and take pictures. And or my dad used to tell me like I was he used to just tell me I was what was a word that he used, conceited, I don't remember, but it was just degrading because that's what I wanted to do. And I made it known to Steph. I was like, I'm probably not going to ask you to video or take pictures. And
I ask her now.
She'll joke, but like honestly at the end of the day, like I ask a lot more than I used to. You know, but at the end of the day, like that was something that I had to work on. But, you know, even creating that and expressing that really has helped me become more confident in where I want to go in my life.
Yeah.
And I've even had to hype her up too. I'm like, dude, you have a gift. Like you have an eye. Like, why aren't you practicing more? I'm like, ask me. Like if you have an idea, I'll go buy the outfit and we'll go shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we do that now. And it's definitely helped with even my insecurities and yours. Yeah. Like,
and it's a way.
And we both would we hype each other up.
Yeah, we do. I'm like, yo, that's so good. She's like,
I was like, well, we were in the gym the other day, and I was like, yo, your legs are popping, your calves are popping. Like I'm like stoked. I'm like, fuck, let's go.
Yeah,
it's just cool.
It is really cool. We have a very special relationship. I think it's
what's 333?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. It's meant to be. But I just think we have a very special relationship, and I know that we have to share it, and it's why I think both of us doing this YouTube and even, you know, talking as much as we do about the things we're going through and experiencing, you know, it's why we're here, you know, and it's why we're here together because there's no way I would sit in front of a camera and talk about this by myself. There's no way. No, there's no, I would just be like, okay, well, I'm going to go be a janitor for the rest of my life. And I quit because like, there's no.
And it's even cool because I think the universe just pushed us. They kept, they really did.
Everything's like, oh, you're about to be homeless? Go live with Steph. Like, all right, cool. You know?
Oh, you're going to be moving away? Not for long.
No shit. Yeah. Well, you know. But anyways, so we have passed an hour.
Wrap it up.
Whoop, whoop. Son of the police.
That's the sound.
Thank you for listening to the Single MILF Show, Moms in Love with fitness. I have to keep saying that because I
You
keep
do.
forgetting. Because I don't want people. I don't know.
I forget every time. That's why she says it. Like
Because we're MILFs.
something MILF. That's all I
Moms they
know.
wanna fuck. You should see my DMs.
Oh my god.
I like how people say weird stuff up in there. I had a guy ask me if I would put a metal rod in his penis.
That's great.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's how you end up in the hospital.
I posted one day the homeless thing that you sent me, guys. Who wanna,
Oh, yeah.
And I had a guy comment and be like, "Well, I have a home." That's fucking great. That's not where I was going with that.
Yeah.
I love it. I just laugh at it.
I just delete and block at this point. I'm like, you're fucking weird.
I'm gonna start charging for
Oh,
conversation.
shit. No, not even that. Like, I'm not like. I'm just gonna start an OnlyFans, and the only thing I'm gonna put in there is.
Well, we got to buy a taco truck somehow, so I support your OnlyFans. Just kidding.
I should just start buying a bunch of costumes and just start dancing. They're like running around town.
Oh, so
I've gone down the
quick
street.
thing, like she got hippie sabotage tickets, and the tour is aliens, and I really want to go buy an alien costume.
You should get the blow up one. I'll be the goddess, because I literally got like a goddess.
Yeah,
outfit. It's
she
fucking
did.
dope. It's fucking sick. But like, I'll be the goddess.
Be a fucking alien.
Yeah. It would definitely express her personalities perfectly. I would have no shame in being my best friend and being in a blow up alien suit. I would run around with you. I'd be like, oh my god, the alien's chasing me. Yeah, I totally would. I absolutely would.
These bitches are crazy. That's great.
Thank you for listening to the Single MILF Show.
Again.
If you guys have any questions, please reach out to us through our social media. Meredith Burns with 3 S's on the end, and
Mine.
Stephanie_Lucario.
See, that's it.
I do know it, but I was giving you a
I
shot
had to
say
think.
it.
Yeah, I had to think.
You had to think of her name.
So long.
Fuck boy.
Yeah, you're a bitch right now.
Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm tryna get paid. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm tryna get paid.
I've been broke for 27 years. I ain't going for 20.
Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm tryna get paid. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm tryna get paid.
I've been broke for 27 years, I ain't going for 28. Been seeing you niggas flexing and finessing the shit. You know I ain't never ate. Been seeing you shining, all that designer. You ain't get your little bro plate. That's how I know you fake, bitch. That's how I know you fake. Get it straight.